Hello, everybody. Welcome to Scotty's Side. Thank you for joining me this week. Since Christmas is upon us, here in a few days, I'd like to talk about some of the very first Christmas presents that I remember and that I got, and more specifically, video game Christmas presents. When I was young, the very first system I got was the Nintendo Entertainment System. Yes, and it came in this big box, and I think it was called the Power Set or something like that. And came with the zapper, the light gun, two controllers, the power pad, the thing where you're supposed to run on it, but I didn't run on it. I always just used my hands. And then it came with Mario, some track and field game, and Duck Hunt. And man, I remember getting that the first year that I had it, and oh my, I could not stop playing it. I loved it so much, and I want to thank my parents for, having the patience for me playing this on our one TV we had. um, but man, I was so happy and I was so excited. I loved it so much, and yeah, I still have a lot of my Nintendo games that I owned originally. Um, Through the years, I bought games and got them for Christmas and birthdays and all that kind of stuff. But my next console game was a Super Nintendo. And this is the one I remember the most because it came out when I was a little older. And that was another one I was super psyched about getting. And I still have a lot of the games for that system too that I originally owned. And I remember getting that and just being blown away by the graphics, the sound, the music for the games, and I really liked the controller too. Just how it felt and how it fit in my hand was just awesome. Um, but yeah, a lot of those games, even now today, I think, are just so beautiful and just play so well, and the sound is great and everything. And it's over 20 years old or something like that, and it's still an awesome system. Even to this day, it's probably my favorite, with Nintendo 64 in a close second. Just there's so many timeless classic games for that system that just nothing compares to them. But moving on, my first portable gaming system was an original Game Boy with the greenish yellow gray screen and all. And man, I remember getting it for Christmas and thinking that the cartridges are just so small. Like, how can a full game fit on one of these little tiny cartridges? I mean, they're like, what, that big or so? But back then that was super tiny when the Nintendo games were like, that big. And I just remember being blown away by how small the games were. And that system, that little thing, I played so much. I went through so many batteries with that little Game Boy, and I had Super Mario Land, I think is what it came with, and I had like Tetris and RoboCop, which is terrible, by the way, but still fun, and some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game, because I was a big Ninja Turtles fan when I was a kid also. So I had those games, and I played them so much, and I loved it. So great. The next portable gaming system I got was actually a Game Gear. So that was my first Sega console, if you will, was their portable Game Gear. And I also remember getting that and freaking out about that, and just, oh, this is so great. And like, yeah, it's bulkier, but there's a bigger screen, and it's color, It's backlit, so you don't need a separate light to play the game. Took more batteries, but I didn't care, you know. Um, and I got it in some kind of like carrying case, so it came with Sonic 2 and some baseball game that is terrible, but I still love playing it once in a while. And I actually still own my 2 original games. I still have a Game Gear, and right now I have a Game Boy SP and a DS Lite. So I have 3 portable gaming systems right now. And then after that, through the years, I did get more systems. I got a Nintendo 64. Eventually, I got an Xbox. And I think the newest system I have is probably a GameCube. And I don't remember if GameCube came out before or after the Xbox, but that's probably the newest system that I still have. And I'm not really too interested in any of the new stuff. This is kind of leading into what I wanted to talk about next, which is older games compared to newer games. And for me, newer games seem to be more about graphics and like being a movie compared to actually playing a game and getting really immersed in it, and like replayability. A lot of these older games, in my opinion, you know, you could play them multiple times and find new things, find little hidden gems or whatever, and and have a good time multiple times. And with these new games, it doesn't seem to be the same. And not that there aren't some that you can't get immersed in. You know, these aren't all new games. There are newer games that I do really like, but it just seems to me none of these newer games really have the same staying power as like Metroid, you know, Super Metroid, you know, Secret of Mana, Super Mario Brothers, even, you know, Duck Hunt, for crying out loud. They don't seem to have that feeling and that way of getting you and catching you. I don't know. Maybe it's just a nostalgia thing, and since I grew up in that era, I think they're better. But that's just really what it seems to be more about nowadays, is just graphics and like lots of cutscenes and stuff like that, where you just play for just a little while, and then you know, then you watch a movie basically. And I don't really like that. I like to get into the game and actually really play it, and play it over and over and over again. So, and like I said, not to say that all new games are like that, but most of them seem like that way, and that's kind of why I stick to these older games. They seem to be more about the sound, you know, the music, you know, longer playtime, replayability, and controls, just that kind of stuff. And yeah, the newer games, just, I don't know, they just don't seem to do that for me. But anyway, that's all I really wanted to talk about this week. Maybe I might be getting some video games for Christmas. I don't know yet. We'll see. But anyway, I hope you all have Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, blah, blah, blah. You know, whatever you do, have a good time. Keep loving each other as I love you. So, thanks a lot. I'll see you next time.